I modeled this aluminum heat sink in a previous video, but it was sped up to fit into the social media 1 minute algorithm. I am going to be making the full modeling process of this, and I'll also release it in 1 minute timeline, but I would have it on YouTube, which will be my first YouTube video, in case you want to follow along in the longer process. So, to begin our video, there are a couple of things I want to point out. First and foremost, whenever you want to start any project, please make sure you have a brief setup. Now, what is a brief? A brief is a foundational document or set of instructions that guides our design process. It contains specifications, think of it like height, width, length, and what the project is meant to achieve. But for this particular video, I've put up a simple brief. You can see it here. Like I said, contains width, length, height, thin internal height, thickness, and all of those. Secondly, I am using Fusion 360. You can see it here as my design software. While if you're using a different design software, I am sure the steps will be similar, or the process will be similar, but maybe a different step. Maybe you have to check in somewhere else to find a certain menu or a certain tool. But other than that, let's get into the design. Oh, and I think I did forget. A third thing to always consider is please save your work. You can see I left this unsaved. Please save your work anytime you want to start a new project. In the case an error occur, so your work is not lost, please save it. But for this video, I am not going to be saving it because it's more or less educational. I already have a saved document and I just want to use this to teach the modeling process. To kick off this video, I want to start by explaining an additional step or additional need to know. You can see if I click on create sketch, it pops this out. Now this is trying to tell me, okay, I pick a plane you want to create your sketch on. So if you don't know, every design starts by creating a sketch, starts from a sketch. Every design starts from a sketch. You have to draw it out before you model it into what you want it to be. And the moment you click on create a sketch, it pops out a plane for you. This plane is telling you, okay, like I said, what plane do you want to draw? Think about it like a piece of paper. You bring out a piece of paper to draw. That piece of paper is your drawing plane. For me to choose, it went choose one by itself, so let me go back. If I click on create sketch, it pops this up. I want to draw your attention to this cube over on the top right. This cube shows me what perspective am I looking at. What perspective am I seeing? You can see if I turn this here, it moves. If I turn it here, it moves. Shows me a perspective. I can go back to the default perspective, which is home. And this is very good, so if you're designing, you don't get lost in space. Now for this heating design, I'll start by selecting this top perspective here, and I want to start my sketch on this top plane. Now if you look over at this top, these are functions that you can use to achieve your sketch, and the moment you click on any of these functions, this panel over here shows you the methods that can be used within those functions, or functions within the method, any way you think about it. Now I noticed that if I go into breaking down every single step or what everything is, this video is going to be quite long, and I don't want that to happen. So I am going to move fast over a couple of steps I may not explain in much detail, but I apologize in advance. There will be a there will be a dedicated video to take you through what is what within this software. So once I click on my rectangle here, I want it to be a center rectangle. I'm going to click this and I'm going to look back at my brief. Where did I keep that brief? Sorry. Oh, yeah. I'm going to look back at my brief, and my brief says the width of my rectangle needs to be 2.3 2.17 actually. So it's 2.17, and my I did 2.37, 2.137, and then my height needs to be 5.233, but let me round it up to 5.235, and we click enter. Once we've done that, we want to click on finish sketch, and once this is up, I want to click on extrude. So extrude, this dialog box pops up and it tells me, okay, what's the height you want to extrude this to? Okay, I want to extrude this to, according to our guide, it's the total height is 0.229, but I'll do a 0.230. Now you can see if I do this and I add the additional fin height, it will be too long or too high. It will be higher than our brief says and our original design. So you can do a little bit of maths here. I want to do 0.230 minus the height of our fin, which is a 0.139. I'll click on OK. So now if I measure this, it will get me about a 0.091. That is the height for the base of our sink. Once this is done, I will click back on the top plane here. You can see each side here is a plane. I'll click on the top plane and I'll click on create another sketch. I would also click on this box, but let me use a line instead. I can click this line and draw it all the way down because that's what I want. But you can see in our guide, the fin guard has a thickness of 0.60, and for me to do that accurately, I can use a feature here called dimension. I can dimension this line from this edge, and I want it to be a 0.60, and I'd say oh 0.060, not 0.60. I made a mistake there. 0.060. Now you can see that it's done that already. I also want one line in the middle, so I come here, click on line, click it in the middle. This line will be a sketch line. The moment you have any feature active, you can see it's trying to create line somewhere. But the moment you have any feature active, you can click on escape, and it escapes. It goes away from this. Let me click on escape. You see, it's gotten me back to my selection tool. So like I said, this is going to be a sketch line, so I can click on it and I can click on X. Once I do that, it makes it a sketch line. You can see it here, a construction line. Sorry, I can also undo that, click on it, and click on a construction line. It does the same thing. What I need this construction line for is I want to mirror this line. So I click on the line, come down here, and I click on mirror. You can see it's selected. You it then asks me what line do you want to mirror this off of. Now it could be a line, it could be a plane, it could be a side. It's just telling you where do you want the other one to be, what's your center point. And I choose this line as my center point. You can see over here that it has created that line here. And if I say okay, now you can see I have both of the line. Now I want to create the internal fins within this sketch before I move forward. So I would come here, make another line from the top down here, and I would dimension it again. The dimension between the first fin and the fin guard, which is more or less a repeated pattern, is a point, what's that spacing again, 0.073. So it's a 0.073, and you can click on OK. Now each fin itself is going to be, let's see, each fin itself is going to be, each fin has its thickness. So I'll draw another line and then dimension it again to get that thickness. So from this to the already dimensioned line, I want it to be a 0.037. Now click on OK, which is half of this. And now I want to escape this dimension tool and I want to finish my sketch. Once my sketch is finished, I want to select this plane. I also want to select this plane, so I'll hold down Shift, select both planes, and then I'll click on Extrude. Like I said, the fin had a height of 0.139, so I'll put this at 0.139, and now our fin height is complete. You can see once I click on Join here, if I measure from the top to the bottom, it's giving us an accurate point, 223. That's 0.230, which is 0.230. So I want to close this. I want to come back to that my initial sketch, and I want to select this fin right here. Once I've selected it, I want to extrude, and I want to extrude it back to a height which is 0.139. Yes, 0.139, and I want to click OK. Now turn the sketch off, come back, and you can see the moment I do that, it creates a feature at this down, it creates a feature down here. I know you can't see it on the screen, but once we're making the full video, you see the feature on your timeline. The moment you take an action, it stamps it in the timeline, so you can go back to that. For this, I want to come over here, create, I want to make a pattern. So, and I want to make a rectangular pattern, so I click on that. It asks me in the dialog box, do you want to pattern a body, a face, a feature, a component, or a construction geometry? I want to pattern a feature. It asks me, okay, what feature do you want to pattern? And I'll click on this. You can see it selected this feature. Now I want to take that on an axis, which is, I click on axis here and it tells me, oh, what axis? You can see these planes have popped up again. If I want on this axis, I click on it. It's the same as clicking here. And it will tell me, all right, drag across to where you want that to be. Now I can pull across all the way to this point. But quickly, I think I'll do a math. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I've done my math. I just did a couple of minors to see where my last fin is going to be, internal fins is going to be. And that will be the minus 9, let's just leave it at the minus 844. Yeah. And let's say now I want to multiply. We can't have 3 here, it doesn't match. So I'll come over here in the quantity and let us see how many do I need. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I need to make that. Let's see. Oh, it's doing something else entirely. 0. I want to make that 15. 15, or let's make it original 17. Nice. This is 17. And we can now click on OK. Once we do this, you can see our theme top is created. Our top layer is created. We now have a theme that looks like the one we used, or the one we have physically. This is now matching the physical sink we have here. But remember, the sink is two, it's an up and a down. It has the up and a down, so parts, up and a down parts. I apologize. So once this is done, I can come over here in the body here, and I can come to copy it. Let me duplicate this body. So let me see. Come over here, click on body, option, copy. You can see what I did. I right clicked and I copied. I want to move out completely, and I want to right click again, and I want to paste. This will paste a new body for me. And while it is here, I want to rotate it. I want to make it a new component, since I would like to rotate it so you can see that. I forgot to mention earlier, you can make a joint on a component, but you can't make a joint on a single part, a single body. So I'd have to make this a component. So I make it a component. I want to rotate it. Um, Sorry, let me start afresh. Oh, I think it already created a body. From this body, I want to make a component. So here we have a component. I want to unground that from parents because I want to move it. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to I'm going to hide this component for now, and let's design the hooks on this, the parts where the screw would go through. Or let the component be there. For that, I want to click on this the internal surface here, and I want to click on create. Come back. What's the size of our screw? The diameter of our screw is 0.115. Now, like I said, I'm going to keep it simple, so I'm not going to be telling you what thread is what or what. I'm just going to be designing it so you can see it. And I want to click on circle, come down here. But there's something I want to do first. Escape. I want to have this here as a projection, so I click on P, or I come over here, create, come down, project include, project. I want to project the full body, this body, and I want to say okay. Then I want to turn these bodies off so I don't see them. Now I can click on circle, place it anywhere, and I want my diameter to be a point. Remember I said the thread was a point 115, so I'm going to make this a point 120. I'll make it a point 116. Now I want to dimension this, so I'd dimension it from the wall here. I want it to be point 2. Okay, and I want to dimension it from the top. I want to dimension it to be point 2. So it is point 2 from the top, point 2 from the right side. After that, I want to draw, like I said, another line so I can mirror it. Now, because I did this in the center, I could just mirror with a plane. Let me show you that. I can click on mirror, and it's telling me, okay, what do you want to mirror? I want to mirror this diameter, and I want to select my mirror plane. Where are those? Where are those? Where are those? My origin. Here, origin point. Yeah, I want to mirror that over here. You can see once I select that, it's mirroring at this point. Because I selected that plane, it was off. Now I'll say okay. I want that to be the case, and I want to turn off my origin point. Now once I do that, I can then say, let me undo that. See if this would be more easier. Let me undo that. And I say finish. Let's finish. For this, I want to select this profile here, and I want to extrude that. I want all the component and bodies to show because it is going to be a the operation is going to be a cut operation, not a join operation. So I want all of them to be visible, and I'm going to click here and I click symmetry. And once I do symmetry, I can draw it up so everything is cut out before here, and I'll say okay, I want to cut. Once I've done that, you can see if I close my body sketch, the component is still cut. If I close the component sketch, the body sketch is still cut. That's why I left it like that. To complete this, I want to work on the body first. Come over here, I want to create a thread. I want to select this internal profile as the thread profile. Here, come create a thread. And once this has loaded, I want it to be, let me see, modeled. So it's actually modeled true. I can see it's modeled true. I want to say okay. I want to turn this off, turn this component on, and I want to repeat the same thing. So I would repeat same thread, model it, and alright. Once this is done, now I want to, this is the model for our thread on the body. So I want to make a mirror. Let me see if this will work. I want to mirror it. And what I want to mirror is a feature. So I want to mirror this feature and this feature and this feature. Let me see if this would work. And I want to select my mirror plane. Come back and I want to mirror that here. Now you can see it worked. Let me see. If I click on OK. It did the mirror, but it did not do the thread. Let me see. component. Oh, it did not do the thread for the component, but it did for the body. Since that's the case, let me turn off the component and repeat the mirror for the, let me see, feature. I want this mirror feature and this feature as well as this feature. I don't want that. And I want to select my plane and I want that to be down here. So if I go up, you can see the 2 points and I say okay. Now I have that here also. So for this I can just repeat the same process for this. You can see it did the mirroring, but it did not do this process. So let me see if I can repeat. If what feature do I want? I want this feature. I want the mirror plane of this. Okay. I'm finding it difficult to do that. So here's what I'll do. Let me just repeat this thread. I want to repeat the thread here. Edit model. Okay. And I want to repeat it on these profiles also. So on this profile, model row, thread, thread, thread this profile, repeat, click on OK. Over here, thread this profile, model, and click on OK. Now, that's done. What I want to do is flip it over. So I'd come to my body is off. It's still hidden. So what I'm dealing with here is this component here, which let me just rename this component to a bottom body or a bottom half, while I rename this here to the top half. So you can see the top half and the bottom half. Now, while the top half is hidden, I can come here and I want to click on joint. Now, this is mostly just to visualize. There's no screw, none of those. And I'm not going to be doing screw here. I'm looking at the time. So I want to click on this center. Come here, click on joint. Once you hover over this back profile, you can see it snaps to points that it feels you can make a joint on. So I click on this center and I want to turn back the top half and I want to click on its own center. And here's what it will do. I can come over, change the motion to, oh, it's rigid. I want to say okay. And here. Now I can also do something. I can also move this one down to 0.03. Let it give this particular space. I want to say okay. This is how I want it. Now turn relationship off, hide it, and you can see our sink is beginning to look like that one that's made in the previous video. And of course, this is the process. Now, I would have gone into making all the screws, but this video is going to be like 40 minutes long, and I don't want that to be the case. However, you can see by doing it like this, it looks and matches to the physical aluminium sink that I'm having over here. You can go further to add an aluminum material to this and all of those. I believe this is long enough for a particular video. So if you
stick through to the end and watched it. Thank you. Please let me know how it is in the comments and what you'd like to see or I should improve on. I would go through all the comments and make sure to adjust.